everyone. Welcome back to Project Notes. If you're a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to see you here. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me here today. I have a special episode for everyone. I visited LA to view the Hold Me Close gallery exhibit at the Jeffrey Deitch Museum. This gallery exhibit featured the works of Bisa Butler. Bisa Butler is an American artist. Her medium is quilting, and she takes inspiration from Black and white photographs of Black and African American subjects and turns them into larger than life multimedia forms of artwork. Her work is absolutely stunning, and I am a huge fan. I talked about her work in a previous episode. I'll link to it somewhere up here. You'll see it pop up if you'd like to see a preview of some of the works that she's done. And I featured the works that you can find in this book here. It's Bisa Butler Portraits. When I found out that she was going to have a gallery exhibit, in the Western United States where I live, I knew I had to go. So I took a day trip to LA to view the artwork, and it blew me away. And I also was able to grab some footage and some pictures to share with you in the podcast today. So I hope you find inspiration from it the same way that I did. Did I mention that if you're a quilter, you're really going to enjoy this podcast? Not only am I taking you to see the works, the quilted works of Bisa Butler, but I'm also taking you to a local quilt shop in Southern California called Quilting Things. The owner, Lana, was kind enough to open her shop to me to film so that I could show you all what's inside. And Lana also took the time to do an interview where she talked a lot about community and the causes dear and near to her heart. So if you're a quilter, you're really going to enjoy the first few segments of the podcast. I'm also taking you to the Little Knittery in LA, where you are going to go yarn shopping for not me. I don't need any more yarn, but I did go there to shop for a prize for a lucky viewer of this podcast. If you'd like to know more about that giveaway, the timestamps for all of that and everything we're going to be seeing are down below. Finally, I took a quick trip to the Griffith Observatory. I really wanted to go there around sunset, but it was a quick trip to LA and I had to get back home. But I got some really beautiful pictures and film of LA in the late afternoon from high up in the hills. So stick around for that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Your thumbs up, your comments, your subscriptions, they mean a lot to the channel. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. And you'll definitely want to do that to participate in the giveaway I have coming up. I always like to start the podcast with what I'm wearing. This is the Anker's tee by Petite Knit. And this is probably one of the oldest sweaters that I've hand knit in my closet. I made this in 2018, maybe 2017. And I remember what I loved about it is it was one of the most successful knits that I had, garment knits that I had up to that point. I tried several different patterns and I just couldn't wrap my head around some of the things I was seeing in some of the patterns. And so this was a really popular pattern at the time. I still think it's a really popular pattern now. And so I gave this one a try. Sweater is older, so I don't remember what yarn I used for it. I do know that it is a DK weight in 100% wool. And it also brings me to the topic of sweater care. So I've had this for 10 years, and so you can see some little neps appearing on it. I do use something like this. I pulled it out for today to kind of make it presentable, but a gleaner to, got a little lint there, to get it clean, to get all of the extra fuzz off. If you don't have one of these, not sponsored, Make sure you have these, especially if you are knitting for a long time and want to take care of your finished objects for a long time. This one was very, very fuzzy, and I was able to like trim it down just a little bit to make it presentable for the podcast. Overall, I can't say enough about this sweater. I'm sure most of you out there are very familiar with petite knit and the Ankers, shirts, summer tee, the whole line of it. If you are a beginning knitter or a beginning garment knitter specifically, and you are looking for a very, you're looking for not necessarily an easy, but a very direct and approachable pattern to give a try to make your first sweater, I do recommend this. This is just knitting, purling, making one, separating for the sleeves, the very basics of sweater knitting. I do remember though, when I knit this, I was a little confused by how the make ones were written in the pattern. I didn't quite understand it. That's why it's great to have access to a site like Ravelry, where I could scan through the different project pages to see how other people were interpreting it. And so I could understand how to make one right, make one left. The Anker's Tee by Petite Knit is a winner for me. It is finally fall in my region of the world, which means it's time for fall winter knitting. I shared this design in a past podcast, or at least my intent to start working on it. And I've put some work into it, and I just wanted to show it to you all here. The only thing is, it might blend into my couch. So, this is what I have so far of the DRK Everyday Cardi. I've finished the yoke section. I've joined the body, and now I'm working on the body and getting ready to do the ribbing. I probably have another 3 to 4 inches before I get to the ribbing for this. And I just love the color. I know that the color gives a little bit of Oscar the Grouch, but I love it. I don't care. I'm excited to wear this because it's going to be my winter hiking sweater. It's something I'm going to be able to throw on and be cozy in. I really like hiking during the cooler months in my area. Nothing major, no dramatic hikes. They're all just flip-flop easy hikes, but still, I need something really warm to wear, and this is going to do it. I know this doesn't look like much here, so let me show you what the pattern looks like and what I'm thinking about. For this sweater, I am using Jaeger spun rag, which is a 3-ply wool. It comes in 100 gram skeins, 332 yards. And the colorway is shamrock. Now, unfortunately, the Jaeger spun mill closed their doors earlier this year, late last year. So the mill, unfortunately and sadly, is closed. I saw somebody wearing this exact colorway online, and I thought I'd really like to give it a shot for this particular sweater and pattern. But when I found out that the mill had closed, I rushed and bought all of the skeins of this that I could get in order to finish my project. The last time I talked about this sweater, I mentioned that I wanted to turn it into a bomber style jacket with zippers. The original design has it with buttons, but I don't know. I think it would just kind of be cool looking like a bit of a cropped bomber jacket. I also did not make the collar as tall as called for in the pattern. The pattern height, the collar height in the pattern is probably double the length of what's here. And I did that because I just didn't see myself wearing something with a collar that height. Now, the whole idea is that you fold the collar down and you whip stitch it into place. But still, even at that height, I think it would just be too high for me. So I'm doing a little bit of experimentation on this. I may throw in a zipper. I'm playing around with the collar height. I'm actually even playing around a little bit with the length. I think I'm going to make it possibly an inch or two shorter so it's a little bit more cropped. We'll see as it comes together. I'll continue to update you all on this. This pattern has been very easy for me to follow. There are ribbing stitches here. Knit one, purl one stitches here around the yoke. Uh, so it's just been fun. It's just been a fun, easy knit to make. One of the things that is recommended in the pattern, though, is that I wash and block it before I knit the button band. I think that's when I'm going to make the decision as to whether or not I'm going to do a button band or a zipper. Once I see what it looks like and what its final size will be, I'll be able to make a decision. So I'll continue to update you all on this, but so far, so good. I'll tell you about some of the other projects I'm working on later in the podcast, but now come with me to LA. Hello, what is your name?
Lana Norton.
And where are we today?
You're at Quilting Things Fiber Arts in La Crescenta, California. We have been in business since 1984 in the community. I'm the 6th owner, and we basically teach people how to sew. We like to teach them how to make bags, quilt, sew garments, and we like to teach them from the ground up. We build sewing skills. We have a membership, so people can come if they need a place to sew, if they need a place to cut fabric, and if they just need to be in community with other sewists. We have long arm services. We obviously sell fabric, because don't we all love fabric? And notions, and we sell a little bit of yarn. We love being here and serving the community. I started sewing when I was young, a little girl, on this old Kenmore machine that was my mother's from, I think, the 1930s. And my mom taught me how to sew. And my mom was a retired school teacher, so she really believed there was a way to sew. And she taught me all these great skills. I learned to sew from my mom, and I learned to quilt from her. And so I'm passing this tradition on to sewists in our community.
Did you make your own top?
Well, we teach this. I did not make it. Darcy, our garment sewing instructor, made it. It's from the Matchy Matchy Sewing Club. The pattern fabric is from Fabulism, and people really are liking sewing tops like this. And we also do color block sewing, where you have different fabrics in different places. This is all one fabric, but we also like mixing and matching. I am wearing a quilt coat that we are teaching in our fall sewing school. The charm squares are Checkmate from Fabulism, and the background fabric is Sprout Woven from Fabulism Fabrics. And the pattern is from All Well. It's the cardigan coat, and it's super easy to make, and it's just so fun. People are choosing different Fabulism charm packs, and they're making their own and learning not only how to make a quilt, but how to then take that quilt, cut it up, and turn it into a coat.
You shared that you do community projects. I see some beautiful quilt blocks in front of you. Can you tell me about them and the project?
Yes, I'd be happy to. This is the Half Hearts for Gaza community quilt. We wanted to amplify the voices of Palestine Children's Relief Fund and Miss Rachel and their Half Hearts for Gaza project. When we saw the project, the first thing that came to mind is a quilt block, because all quilters have made a heart block and sometimes multiple heart blocks in their quilting journey. And we thought this would be such a great way to show our compassion and our solidarity with the children of Palestine. We are calling for quilters, sewists from everywhere to submit blocks that we're going to be turning into a quilt or maybe quilts, and then we'll be selling the quilts and donating 100% of the proceeds to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. And it's a great way for quilters to get involved. Sewists have had a long history of raising their needles and their threads and their voices for justice. Yeah, we've been getting so many blocks. They're beautiful. You can make either a simple block, using half square triangles and snowballs, or you can make like this, a beautiful checkerboard block, a patchwork block. And on our website, we have the pattern for all of these. On November 8th, we're hoping to close the block donations, and we'll start sewing the quilts, and then we will sell them and donate the proceeds to Palestine Children's Relief Fund. So you can get all the information from our website at quiltandthings.com, or you can also go on our Instagram at QNT Fiber Arts, and there's information there. This is a table runner kit that we put together. The fabric has been designed by Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree & Co. from Moda Fabrics. And we're going to be teaching this November 22nd and from 10 to 1. We're just really excited about it. It uses a panel, so it's really super easy. You're only actually making quilt blocks in the center, and it's a fairly easy quilt block. And we just thought it was the cutest thing, and I think everybody would really want to have this on their dining table for the holidays. I sure do, and I plan on making one.
What does community mean to you?
Well, community is a space, it's a feeling, it's a sentiment, it's a desire. I feel like as we progress as a civilization, we're losing community spaces. It used to be you could be in community and quilt together, sew together, assemble with other people. I think now we're just getting so ingrained at being in front of our devices that we're losing spaces like this. And this is what makes us human, interacting with other people. So I feel like I want to create a place where humans want to be with humans.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the gallery exhibit and a tour of Hilton Things. Thank you to the Jeffrey Deitch Gallery for allowing me to take some quick clips and video of the artwork inside. All rights, of course, are reserved to the artist. And also thank you to Lana for opening up her shop, her quilt shop and studio in Southern California. The causes she's working on are worthy and wonderful. So if you are interested in supporting her or her shop, I'll have information for you down below. Did I mention how if you're a quilter, you'll really enjoy this podcast? I have one more quilt related thing to show you, and that is a project that I put on hold for later in the year, which is now, because it was just getting warm outside and, sticky fingers kind of make felted quilts, or quilted. Sticky fingers make felted knits. Excuse me. This is something that I'm pulling out of hiatus to work on. I'll be working on the DRK Everyday Cardi, but now that things are cooling down, I finally pull this one out again. This is where I left off last time with the Clint Shawl by Natasha Hornsby. I still have not completed the block. You can see that I'm knitting section by section in a modularly. And I've got a few, well, more than a few. I've got several quilt blocks to go before it's done. But this is the heart of the quilt, and then it expands out to become a boomerang. I'll be working on these two back and forth while the seasons change. And just being around quilters in the quilting community and seeing all the amazing things that they're making is really inspiring me to finish this. So maybe I finish it this year. I think that's my goal. We're running out of time before the end of the year, but I'm definitely going to be putting some work into this. Just as a reminder, I am using Ilmani Santi for this project. I'll leave a link to my project notes page on Ravelry so you can learn more about the yarn and the colors, but it's so soft and squishy. And I have a little bit of my quilting mojo back. While I was in LA, I stopped by the Knittery for a shopping trip. I didn't buy any yarn for myself, but I did buy yarn as a prize for one of you. So stick around for the tour. I will meet you on the other side, and I'll give you the details of how you could win a couple skeins of yarn. the Little Knittery is a great shop with all of your knitting needs. They have mostly commercially dyed yarns, but they have so much and a great variety of it. Thank you to the shop owner, Kat, for letting me film inside your store. It's beautiful and it's such a great community space for locals in Southern California. Now, let me show you what I bought from the Little Knittery. So, when I was there, I saw this slip stitch shawl pattern, and I thought it would be a fun prize to give away some of the yarn that was used in that slip stitch pattern. I will not be able to provide the pattern for you, but I'll be giving you or sending the winner this yarn so that they can use it for a slip stitch pattern, a color work pattern, whatever they want. It's theirs to determine. But I picked up first this. This is Core from Gusto Wool. It is a sock weight yarn, and it is 80% merino, 20% nylon, and it's 435 yards, 400 meters, 100 grams. So this is one skein of sock weight yarn. And then next, I picked up these two mini skeins from the same brand. It equals to the same amount almost. It is 80% wool, 20% nylon. Both are superwash, I should mention. 440 yards or 400 meters and 100 grams of wool. This colorway, or the color is 1529 for this one, and the color for this one is 1024. They do also have the dye lots listed on their tags. Along with these two skeins, the winner is also going to get a bag. Now, the bag was actually given to me by Kat, the owner. She had an extra one of these from the 2025 Los Angeles Yarn Crawl. And this tote bag is all of the yarn stores that participated in LA in the yarn crawl this year. So you can see this is just so cool. I love the graphic design on this. This is Wild Fiber Studio, Jennifer Knits, Buku Yarn, the Little Knittery up here. It's just like graphic designs of all of their storefronts. So if you participated in the LA Yarn Crawl this year, you have this bag. If you didn't get an opportunity, now is your chance. In order to be entered into the drawing for all three of these prizes, first you have to like the video, you have to be subscribed, and you have to leave a comment. And the comment could be what should the comment be? Okay, I have an idea. Leave a comment about, and it can just be one word, very simple, not complicated. Leave a comment about what community means to you, because this whole episode was about how community drives art and making and creating knitting, quilting forward. So let me know down below, what does community mean to you? And you will be entered into the prize drawing for these three prizes. I will announce the winner in the next episode and contact them to let them know that they have won. And I'll give them also the information on how to get in contact with me too. If you remember, this summer, I was bit hard by the sock knitting bug. While I was traveling, I always had a sock with me on the go. And one of the projects that I spoke about was Stevie's Dreams socks. I started that during my trip to Savannah. I'll put a box for that somewhere up here, wherever it appears. It always changes wherever it appears. But I started knitting on this sock, and this is what I have so far for Stevie's Dreams socks. It's inspired by the music of Fleetwood Mac, and it has this really cool moon motif, and the hands are starting to pop out in the color work. And I'll flip it over to this side. so you can see it. There's some cute baubles up here as well. I just think this is such a cool colorwork pattern, and I love the colors I chose. So I picked these up in Savannah, Georgia. Um, and the colors, these are the two colors that I chose for the sock. This is the main color. This is the contrast color that the moon and the hands and the stars and moons and everything are appearing in. But the pinkish color that kind of almost matches my top is I'm a Peach, which is very apt for Savannah, Georgia. And this color is Clay Day May, and both are from moss fibers. I've enjoyed knitting the colorwork on this sock. However, I ran into the same problem I run into anytime I do colorwork on small circumferences. The problem is I knit my colorwork way too tightly in the round. I've knit it so tightly in the round, actually, I can't get this on my foot, y'all. It's just not going to work out. It's just I cannot get this over my heel to even make the heel turn, which I was testing it as I went along, right? I was testing to make sure my knitting was loose enough. My gauge was right. I wasn't knitting too tightly. But once I got to the colorwork section in here, I must have tightened up because now I can get it up to my ankle, and that is it. There's no heel turn happening with this. And as sad as that makes me, I looked at it and I thought, do I really want to put this in my shoe and not see it all of the time? So let me explain my thinking. So just look at this. Okay, this is a sock. We've established that this is not going to fit on my foot. I don't even think with washing and blocking it there's any chance of saving it. So I have two options. I can rip it out and start again, or let me show you something. I just might have a really cool fingerless mitt on my hand. I'm not afraid to rip out. I'm not afraid to start again. But there's something about this pattern. I don't want it to be hidden in a boot this winter. I want it to be seen. And I'm at the point that I think that what I can do is I can finish knitting up to here. And this is the plan. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Stop or finish the hand motif on the hands, the hand motifs on the hands, and then knit up this way, which means I'll probably have to purl. I'll have to knit and I'll have to purl in color work to finish that. But then if I put the ribbing on, I have a really cool pair of fingerless mitts. And it solves a couple problems. One, the fact that I cannot keep gauge while knitting small circumferences in the round like this. But also, I get to show off this really cool colorwork pattern. So I'll finish off the colorwork and then I'll add ribbing at the top so that when you see it, it's going to look, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's going to kind of look like this. That might be too pie in the sky, but I think I'm going to try it because I do like this pattern a lot. But I've actually ripped this out a few times because I just couldn't get the gauge right on it. And it's nothing with the pattern. The pattern is great. It's easy. It's a fun color work pattern. It's just my hands, my tension, and the way I knit. I think I need to try maybe I don't want to say a more simple, but maybe that's what I'm looking for, a more simple color work pattern for a sock in order to practice maintaining my gauge. This is very cool. So I'm going to keep going on it and see if I can make myself some fingerless mitts out of it. Let me know what you think down below. This is Stevie's Dream. I'll leave information about it and the designer in the description box down below. While I ponder about what I'm going to do with this, it's a really great segue to the last part of this podcast. While I was wrapping up my trip in LA, I was able to visit the Griffith Observatory. The Griffith Observatory is celebrating its 90th birthday. I was able to visit there in the late afternoon, and it was beautiful to see the beginnings of a waning sky. And I also went inside and took a look at some of the gallery exhibits and installations, and I want to share them with you here. That ends things for me. I hope you enjoy a quick tour of the Griffith Observatory. I will see you all next month. If you're interested in the giveaway, don't forget to comment down below. What does community mean to you? And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.